Okay, I actually am not planning on singing anything from the Mario opera, so that's a little disappointing. But maybe I can try to remember something of it. It was a while ago. Okay, yeah, so like she said, I'm Jonathan. I write a song a day. Been doing that since 6.5 years ago. That's my Twitter handle if you want to tweet at me and tell me things. Okay, so I'm just basically going to talk about Song a Day. And first, I'm going to tell you about how it began. It began with this thing called Fun a Day. You know, there's lots of different things on the internet, ways to sort of get you inspired. There's NaNoWriMo, where you are invited to write a novel in a month. And Fun a Day is like that. Fun a Day is an invitation to make one piece of art for every day in the month of January. It's been happening for about 10 years. It happens all over the world. People do it, and then they have art shows in February where everyone gets together and shares what they've made. It's really a cool thing. And so in late 2008, I got a flyer. Just my friend randomly was like, hey, you might be into this, Fun a Day. I was like, oh, that's cool. All right, I'll make a song and a video every day for the month of January, and we'll see how it goes. And so basically, I started doing it, and I was like, this is awesome, and this is exactly what I should be doing, and it just clicked right away. So January came and went, and I was like, okay, I'm going to keep going. Let's see what happens. And a year, you know, you're like, okay, 365 came and went. I was like, all right, things are going good. I'm just going to keep seeing how this goes, and I'm going to go and go 2 years, 3 years, and so today, I stand before you having written 2,293 songs in as many days. Thank you. Very close to 2,300. I like it when they're, you know, when I'm presenting, when sometimes they're even, and I like that better. This is like a really random number, but sometimes these random numbers sound bigger. It's weird what sounds big. Anyway, okay. So, so the very first thing that I noticed about Song a Day, and this is not, I'm by far not the first person to make this observation. There's a very famous, like, 90% of everything you make is crap rule. And I have adapted that. This is my pie chart of things that you make. So 70% of everything you make is going to be just okay. It's just going to be like in that good, you know, it's all right. It's in the okay zone. 20% is going to be shitty, and you're going to feel really bad about yourself for having made it. But then 10% of everything you make, just no matter what, is going to be amazing. It's going to be great. And what that means for me is that, like, the more songs I make, the more good songs I make, because that's just this ratio that holds true as I go along. So, you know, the more bad songs I'm going to make also, but I'm going to have this big pile of good songs. Song a Day also, and making something every day in general, helps to be less precious with each thing you make. Before I did Song a Day, I would fall into this trap of, like, I would start working on a song, and maybe I hadn't written a song in like a couple weeks or something, or it's been a month, and like that song suddenly became really important, and it was like, this thing is like, I have to nurture it, and I have to like really, and like with Song, I'm just like, yeah, more stuff, and it's like I just make them, and it helps me be comfortable making more of that bad stuff and more of that okay stuff to get to the good stuff, because you kind of have to do both. Which is sort of building on some of what Gavin was saying. And this is, you know, this is basically the advice. This is really the only advice that anyone can ever really give you about being creative. Just like make more. And I believe in that. The other thing that I've noticed about making a song a day, and this is really important, is like I'm a terrible judge of actually what is good and what is bad and what is okay, right? So a lot of days I sit down and I make something, make a song, and I post it, and I'm like, wow, that was a real stinker. Like that was complete crap what I just made. And you know, within a few minutes, people are in the comments on YouTube being like, this is my favorite one ever. I love this song. This is amazing. And I'm like, are you, what? Why? What's going on? But it's weird because that invariably happens. That happens so often. And it's weird. It just shows me that I have no, sense of really what is the good stuff and what is the bad stuff. Okay, so this is my actual view counts over the lifetime of Song a Day on YouTube. And I want to talk to you next about some of those spikes. We're going to go through and talk about the viral hits of Song a Day, of which there are a few. Okay, so the first one to go super viral was a song that I wrote about Nobel Prize-winning economist Paul Krugman, who writes for the New York Times, very famous American economist. And it went crazy viral, and it was all over the internet back in 2009. And I got to go on the Rachel Maddow show, and I brought bubbles for her to blow at me, and she blew the bubbles, and it was really cool. She was super nice to blow bubbles at me, because she's Rachel Maddow, and she's awesome. So that was like the first really big one, and that was great. It was politics. I was very into Paul Krugman at the time. The financial collapse had happened, and I thought Paul Krugman would make a better Treasury Secretary. So anyway, that was great. So the next one that went crazy viral was I was making a living during the first couple years of Song a Day entering online video contests. I didn't have a job, and I was basically doing freelance songwriting, which is what I do now, but times were a little bit tight, and so I was just entering video contests online, and I would enter them en masse. I would do like 12 days. I would enter 12 video contests. I would win like 2 or 3 because, again, it's like 2070, 2010. A couple of them were really good, and then that would be my income for the month. One of the ones that I entered was a Microsoft-sponsored jingle competition for their newly launched search engine, Bing. And so anyway, this was my entry. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Bing, bing, bing goes the internet. I'm not going to subject you to the rest of it. I'm wearing pajamas. Bing, bing, bing goes the internet. And maybe it's because my closest competition was this dude holding the camera going, "You've got to bing it, bing it. You've got to bing it, bing it." That was like my closest competition. But somehow I won this jingle competition. Again, bing, bing, bing goes the internet. I won, and I won a $500 American Express gift card. Pro tip, if you're entering video contests, you don't want to enter the ones where they're gift cards. They're really annoying to use because the money stays on the gift card. You can't get it off the gift. It's really annoying. Anyway, so I won. A few days later, maybe a week later, my phone started blowing up because MG Siegler, you guys know who MG Siegler is? Famous tech writer. At the time, he was writing for TechCrunch. He posted a blog post, and the title, the headline of the blog post was, so, you make things on the internet and you get haters, and it's like, whatever. People are going to hate on what you do, and if you make things on the internet, as you know, you just have to roll with it. You just have to. But this was TechCrunch, and I think in 2009 there was no bigger tech thing than TechCrunch. So I responded by making a song about him. This is MG Siegler. I took the words from his blog post and I turned it. I'm MG Siegler. These are my opinions. Into a song about him, which he then posted. And then actually what ended up happening was, oddly enough, we went back and forth, and there was like a war between me and TechCrunch, and we became friends. We became internet friends. So over time, I would just constantly send him tech-related songs that I was writing, and he would post them, and it was like really cool. And so that is how, on the eve of Apple's first ever defensive press conference, if you recall, Antennagate, the iPhone 4, you held it a certain way, the antenna would diminish, and everybody was very upset about this. I wrote a song basically defending Apple because I'm an Apple fanboy, and the song went like this. If you don't want an iPhone 4, don't buy it. If you bought one and you don't like, bring it back. If you don't want an iPhone, I wrote that song, sent it to MG Siegler. He posted it. I went to bed. The next morning, I had an email in my inbox that said, it was from Apple. It was like pr@apple.com. Hi, Jonathan. We really liked your song yesterday, and we had a question for you. Is there a number we can reach you at? I deleted it because I thought it was someone trolling me. So I got in the shower. It was the morning. I was like having a nice shower. My phone rang. Long story short, Apple used the song to open the AntennaGate press conference, their first and only ever. And so that's how Steve Jobs came out on stage the next day, right after my video had played on that screen, and said,
"Good morning. Thanks for joining us here. We saw that on YouTube this morning and couldn't help but want to share it."
So that happened, and thank you. So later on, I got back on the phone with a guy who, the PR guy who had called me, and he told me that as the song was playing, Steve Jobs was actually in the wings. He was off in the wings of the stage, and he was dancing. He was dancing to my song as it was playing, off in the wings. And so I went back and looked at the video. It's kind of dark, but you can see him as he comes on stage. You can see there's a little bounce in his step. You can see the little jiggle that he's doing. So anyway, then Steve Wozniak's wife is there, and she commissioned me to write him a birthday song for his 60th birthday. So then I got to go to Steve Wozniak's birthday and meet Drew Carey, and it was weird. And then I did a song called Duet with Siri, where I sang a duet with Siri.
Hey Siri, do you love me?
How can I tell?
You just know.
Okie dokie.
So that went crazy viral, and then recently I did a song where I did a autocomplete, just like, you know when you can like autocomplete and then you just press the button in it. So I did the whole song just pressing the button.
And the best way of saying, and the best thing about it, it was not the only one in my life, and death in the morning to all the way that you want.
The song just goes on like that. Okay, so wrapping up with the sort of viral hits, I had a long-term girlfriend. We had been together for 5 years. We decided that we needed to break up, and rather than announce it in just like a weird Facebook post or anything, or like have to tell our friends individually, we made a song together announcing our breakup.
And so we gotta break up, it's the only way.
And then I had to move out of the apartment because she kept the apartment, and so then I moved into a new apartment, but it was too expensive because I lived in Brooklyn at the time, and so I posted a Craigslist ad, but instead of just posting a Craigslist ad, I made a video saying I need a roommate.
Come live with me, I need a roommate, I need to live with me. This place is awesome.
And then for some reason, Anderson Cooper had like a daytime talk show for like a minute, and invited me on, and he talked to me about the breakup and everything. It was weird. And then they asked me to write him a song about his eye cleavage. There's like this bit between his eyes that like look like cleavage. You'll see it here in a second. Like I'm pointing at his eyes. See his like eye cleavage? Okay. So those are like the big viral hits of Song a Day. But there's also days where, you know, what Song a Day is almost like a journal of my life. In a lot of ways, you could sort of see that a little bit in the breakup song and in the roommate song. But also, like, there's just things that happen in your life, and then, you know, if you're making something every day, it ends up being about that. So, you know, I wrote a song on the day my son was born. I wrote a song on the day my grandma died, and I wrote a song the day I got food poisoning.
I've been puking up my gut. Now I'm lying in the bed.
This is 3 in the morning.
I'm feeling really, really sad. Good night.
Okay, so that Song a Day, it's like this everything every day, and I never know what I'm gonna write, and I'm always surprised by what comes out. And so, okay, so for the rest of the time, I just want to talk to you really quick about one way to measure the success of a project is numbers of views or clicks, and those are very easy to measure online, and our whole lives as creative people online sort of revolve around those. The more clicks you got, the more followers, the more whatever, the better you're doing, presumably. But there's this whole sort of underlying, untold story that exists that no algorithm can measure. There's a success that is different, and a lot of it has to do with the connections that you make, and it's how you make people feel, right? And that has nothing to do with number of views. One person can see your thing, and it can change their life, and is that more or less valuable than 1 million views? I think they're valuable in different ways, right? So these are just some comments that I pulled off of this is just a random smattering of songs and a random smattering of comments. Some days I just write a song and it resonates with people, and that's super valuable to me and super meaningful. Okay, and so I'll just tell you 3 stories about 3 different interactions that I've had over the course of Song a Day that have meant something to me. The first one is this guy, Jonathan Hartchick. This is Jonathan Hartchick. He's in a hole, I don't know. This is when you search, Google image search, this is the first thing. So he's famous on the internet, internet famous for a couple different things. At one point, he had the longest YouTube video ever. He had recorded a 571-hour-long video, and it was the longest video, so that he became famous for that. He was on Boing Boing because he counted to 100,000. He just over the course of 7 videos, he just filmed himself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just to 100,000. He went all the way. So this is Jonathan Hartchick, right? For the last 1,200 days, I've been doing this for 2,200 days. For the last 1,200 of those, for about 1,000 days, he's been leaving the same comment, the same YouTube comment, every single day without fail. So it's I post a song, and I just know that he's going to post this comment. And it was a little bit annoying at first, but now it's it's part of Song a Day almost. It's part of the fabric of what I do. And we have this weird relationship that I love. He sent me gift baskets and things. His comment is, "This song is great. They should play it on the radio." Every day. Every day. Over 1,000 days. And it's silly and it's stupid and it's funny, but I love it. I love it from the bottom of my heart. I love it. Okay, next story. David Lee Beebe Jr. Was this dude who lived in, I think, Arizona. He had some sort of kidney problem that sort of kept him mostly homebound. He lived with his mother. He was in his 50s. He was sort of a lonely guy, but he had a very vibrant online life. And he started commenting on my videos at some point. Apparently, I think this was his first comment. I had written a song about Stephen Merritt of the Magnetic Fields, and that's what he's saying. I hope you get to meet him one day too, Mr. Mann. Anyway, so this was his first comment to me. And after this comment, he too started posting every single day. And what I loved about Biebelmeyer's comments was that they were so genuine and constructive and positive, and he was just he was a really great guy and a really great fan to have. He was just so thoughtful in the things that he would say. You get comments like "first" or whatever, but Biebelmeyer, David Lee Beebe Jr. would say really nice things. So he commented every day, and I came to expect his comments as well. So I ended up writing a song about him. He actually asked me for a song. He was going in for some kidney, not a kidney transplant, but some sort of thing to help with his debilitating disease that he had. And so we had this internet friendship that really meant something to me. Data from Star Trek, he describes friendship this way, and I think there's no better person to talk about friendship than Data. If you know anything about his relationship with Geordi, that is a damn fine friendship right there. So, Data says, "As I experience certain sensory input patterns, my mental pathways become accustomed to them. The inputs are eventually anticipated and even missed when absent." I think that's a great description of friendship, right? That's all it is, really. It's just people are there, and then you're excited that they're there, So it was a real shock suddenly when David Lee Beebe Jr.'s comments stopped. And I knew that he had these kidney problems, and it was like, and so he passed away. And it was like this, it was so sad for me, and I didn't sort of anticipate how sad it was for me, but like Data says, it was just like he was there, and then suddenly he wasn't there. And it was like really kind of a big blow. So I ended up writing another song, like a goodbye song for him, and I later found out I sort of like poked around, and I found these communities that he had online where people he had made these connections with many people all over the internet. And that's just who David Lee Beebe Jr. was. So the third and final story I want to tell you about is Jack Dolgen. So Jack Dolgen is a comedian and songwriter in LA. And after I posted the breakup song, he and his friend made a parody. And this was their parody.
And now we gotta kill ourselves. We're gonna kill ourselves.
We're gonna kill ourselves.
We're gonna kill ourselves.
Okay, so it's a little mean. But what is that? Whatever. So at first I was like, wow, I'm a little offended by this. But then I decided to be flattered by it. You know, he made a parody of my video and whatever. So I did a little research on him. You know, he's a musician. He's got this album, Wandering Times, and I started following him on Twitter, as you do, you know? So December rolled around, and he posted a video announcing that he was going to do his own Song a Day project for the year, I think it was 2013. And I was like, oh, awesome. So he saw my Song a Day project. He parodied me. He saw what I was doing, and he got inspired. He wanted to do his own project. That's so cool. So January 1st of 2013 rolled around, and this is the video he posted.
I don't think I'm going to be able to do a song today. Pretty hungover.
All right. Okay, so maybe, you know, all right. So, you know, New Year's Eve. Okay, so it's fine. So let's see how he did the rest of the year.
Not going to be able to do a song today. No song today. Not going to be able to do a song today. No song today. Okay, this isn't happening. No song today. No song today. No song today! No song today. No song today. No song today. No song today.
So, 365 days, 365 excuses, different excuses for why he couldn't write a song. For a whole year he did this. And I love this on so many different levels. Again, at first I was a little offended, but then as I started following it, I started to really love this project. So, for one thing, you know, that's commitment, you know what I mean? Like, he's really, it's like Andy Kaufman level commitment to that joke, you know? He like went for that joke and he just drove it home all the way. Another thing that I notice is that, so like, you know, I talk about Song a Day and I talk about making things every day, and a lot of times like people will tell me about different excuses, or like this is why I have a trouble making things every day or whatever. And what I noticed was that even though he was making these joke excuses, a lot of times they were like the actual excuses that I would hear people give, that they would say. So one of them, like a classic kind of thing he would do is he would sit with a friend and they would just debate endlessly, like, should the song be in B flat? Should it have bongos on it? What should the title of the song be? How long? Should it have a bridge? I don't know. And like that would be the whole video and they would just be debating it. And I see this as a sort of like perfectionism. You know, you get trapped in this like, oh, I want to try to make this thing super perfect, and then you don't end up making anything because you just sit around endlessly thinking about how perfect it's going to be. Anyway, these are really funny. Here's some other excuses.
No song today. I have to renew my KPCC public radio membership. I just did Bikram yoga for the first time. No song today.
I just did Bikram yoga for the first time. No song today. I can't do a song. So I'm too busy, I got too much to do, I can't do a song. There's these videos where he doesn't even say anything. He just like wanders around his house looking forlorn. Which I don't know about you, but like before I did Song a Day, that's how I felt if I would often like just be waiting for inspiration to strike me. And I was like, oh, what's in the fridge? Oh, nothing in there, okay. And just like wander around, just like waiting for inspiration, waiting for the muse.
I smashed my toe getting it fixed up, so no song today. Tired. No time to write a song.
I'm tired, I'm sick, I can't write a song, what are you talking about? So these are all, you know, these are all excuses, right? So day 365 rolls around. I'm like, what is he going to do? This is like, what is going to be the big finish? I'm really excited to see what Jack Tolgan has in store for his last day of Excuse a Day. And this is what he made.
Day 365. As you may know, this is all a big fucking joke. And after a certain point, what I thought was a clever bit became really embarrassing, sad thing for me because I realized I was just doing this as a way of hiding my insecurities. I don't have the balls or the confidence to actually come out and make a song every day, once a week, once a month, and present it to you in earnest and take whatever comes back because I'm afraid that people won't like it and I'm afraid of not being good enough. I'm kind of ashamed that I spent an entire year devoted to an elaborate excuse to hide my own frail insecurities. Sorry.
Oh my God. So I love that. That's like maybe my favorite clip on the internet ever, because he spent this entire year making jokes and being funny, and then, like, we see this really vulnerable thing from him where he's just like, well, shit, like, I'm afraid of not being good enough. And, like, to me, that's just it, you know what I mean? Like, underneath all the excuses, it's like a perfect encapsulation for me. It's like underneath all these excuses, you can come up with a million different excuses. But it's really just like, I'm afraid that people are going to think I'm an idiot, or like I'm afraid of making something shitty, or like that I'm not good enough. And like we all struggle with that. And to hear him just like come out and say that is awesome. And I think it's just like, I don't know, it gets me every time. And then he proceeds to sit down and write a song, and it's a really great song. Anyway, so that's like my first. Got to do the takeaways, right? So the takeaway is stop being afraid of making something bad. Don't be like Jack. Or do be like Jack and make an excuse every day, because that's kind of fun too. But like the main thing is that's it. That's like it all sort of begins and ends with just like stop being afraid of making something bad. As soon as you can like get over that fear of making something bad, suddenly you leave yourself open to make whatever you want to make, and it doesn't even matter. And it's not going to be as bad as you think it is anyway. The next takeaway that I've learned anyway is incorporate haters into your work, which is like, there's going to be people that are sort of going to make fun of you. M.G. Siegler with his blog post on TechCrunch. Jack really taking the piss out of me for a whole year, right? But then I can just like incorporate them into what I do, and suddenly, they're allies and not haters. And I think as long as they're not like total trolls, which you also get, and that is a whole other talk, obviously. But if they're just people, if they're just like willing to go there, you can often bring them over to your side by making things about them. And this is actually, I had this whole thing in my talk about content, which is a whole other spiel. But whatever you make, it's not content. I'm just going to say that and leave that there. Yeah, and that's the end. Does anybody have any questions about Song a Day? Yeah. What's your song for today? I have no idea. I haven't written it yet. Check with me in a little while. You have yes. Can you sing one now? So I could. Here's the thing. The thing about Song a Day, or the thing about what I do is, the thing about what I do, though, is that I'm not, now you're going to make me do it anyway, but, yeah. So I'm not very good at, we could actually try something that would be fun. Oh, man. Tell me where a text edit is. I can't see. Did I get it? Ooh, first try. Okay, now, just give me, like, some words. Quantum physics. Canada. What? Bunnies. Unicorns. Fairies. Furries. I like furries. Okay. Love. Purple. Love. Purple. What? Caleb? Caleb. The name Caleb. Okay. The name Caleb. All right. Okay. I got you. I got you. A few more, I guess. What? Projection. Rejection. And working? Work it. Okay. See, now here's the thing. I'm really bad at, I'm going to try to type and talk at the same time, which I'm also really bad at. So, have you guys ever seen Reggie Watts perform? So, like, you watch Reggie Watts, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Like, so his skill at just, like, making things up on the fly is its, like, own skill, right? And that's not what I do, and I'm really bad at that. And I would do it, and I would make a fool of myself, and that would be fine. But what I'm a little bit better at is making songs really quickly, and it's a little bit hard to do in front of people while I'm talking at them, but I'm going to try. Bunnies, unicorns, and furries. I'm just going to make this up. Here we go. Caleb likes to... his rejection in the love. Give me a couple more words. Okay. Upside down, spaghetti, haters. It's a good line. Actually, so part of what I do for a living is I come to these conferences and I will watch people's talks, like and then I'll take notes, and then at the end of the talk, I'll sing a song based on what I just saw. But I don't ever have to do it. I don't have to ever like make the song in front of people, which is a whole other upside down spaghetti haters. It has to be spaghetti haters. And then 2 more things. Pineapple. Karate. Okay. Pineapple makes my tongue hurt. Karate is good for caters. Okay. I don't know. This is a song. We tune it because that will be helpful. Tuning. Oh my God, you guys tweeted at me a lot. Look at all these Twitter things, notifications I'm getting. Good job. Good going. Okay. Quantum physics in Canada, bunnies, unicorns, and furries, loving the time of purple. Caleb likes to bury his rejection in the realm of love, upside down spaghetti haters. Pineapple makes my tongue hurt. Karate's good if you're masticator. FITC, that's what we're doing. FITC, I'm really bad at this. FITC, that's the end. Oh yeah. How much time is left? 5 minutes? You know what I want to do? So I have this, oh my God, okay. Do I have it? I hope I have it. Oh yeah. So another thing that I've been doing that is really weird. Can you all get your phones out and film me and then send me this footage that you're about to shoot? Send it to me, I don't know, email it to me. You can find my email really easily by following links on Twitter. It'd be really helpful. So I do this. Do you guys know Vine, the app Vine? I have this character. I'm going to take my pants now. I have this character on Vine called Everything Man. And basically what Everything Man is I wish I could show it to you, but I'm not connected to the internet. But if you just search Vine for Everything Man, you can see me. I put on this Lycra suit, and then I purple screen it out, and Everything Man just gets himself into strange situations. And so if you guys could all film me, and then send me the footage, I'll make it today's Everything Man. I've been doing it every day now for the last 60 days. So Everything Man, now here he comes. The thing about Everything Man is that when I'm just Everything Man, I just look like a chubby Jewish guy in a Lycra suit. But when you look at Everything Man online, it's really cool because he's all like green screened out and it looks cool. So just imagine like stars on me or something. Okay. Okay, that's. We only have 6 seconds, so that's it. Okay, I think that's the end. So thank you. Please email me that as soon as possible. I'll make a Vine out of it, and send me your handles, and I'll tag you. Okay, thanks.